Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige and this is Seeking Alexandria, and my hair is out of control. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was actually just getting, that made it lots better. Now it's just all on one side. I was getting ready to go to bed tonight and like literally sitting here in my pajamas getting ready to go to bed. And I was thinking about something and I kind of wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys a little bit about it. I had decided early on that I wanted my channel to be a place that was honest and fluff free. I mean, it was okay. It's okay to, you know, talk about hair care and makeup and stuff like that because I enjoy it and I love it. But I also wanted it to be a place where the world could know me, you guys could know me, and where I could be relational to people that go through similar things or whatnot. And I wanted to kind of hop on here for a minute and talk about me and a little bit of my medical stuff, you know, and just something that happened the other day that I kind of wanted to share with you guys. So I guess I'll jump in first with the medical stuff. I have what's called a macroprolactinoma or adenoma, which is just a prolactin secreting brain tumor that sits on my pituitary gland in my brain. All this basically means, and I'm just going to nutshell it for you, is that it secretes, it's non-cancerous, but it secretes prolactin, which is a hormone, into my bloodstream, like way more than normal. And a doctor once described it to me as your body goes through puberty, pregnancy, and menopause all in one, you know, swoop, basically. That could be a day, a week, a month. And it was just a way to really quantify what the hormonal swings and shifts can be like. I get like the food cravings and the swollen ankles, say, of a pregnant lady. I get the acne. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Between that acne and this hair, by the way, those dating profiles are just going to like roll in. Oh, yeah. I can already tell. This is like untamable. That's why usually it's in a bun. I don't know why I didn't put it in a bun. But anyways, and then I can get like, say, the hot flashes and night sweats of menopause really, really bad. And all of these are all, like hormonally driven. I've talked to a couple surgeons about removing it. It didn't work out for removal. Basically, it's just a really, really large tumor. I take medication to control and shrink it. But it does have a lot of, even the medication has a lot of adverse sickening type side effects. The pharmacist equated it to like chemo in a pill kind of thing. That's the effect that it has on my body. It makes me really sick. I also was recently diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called fibromyalgia, which I was in, denial about for a really long time. Just because I didn't want to admit that I had it. I thought that it wasn't real. I thought a lot of different things that none of which I had any actual like medical evidence backing me up. It was just all like mental. I didn't want to be weak enough to have another thing wrong with me. They think I might have another one. They're not sure. Another autoimmune disease. I also have degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, and scoliosis, which are just a hoist of like spinal issues. I have IBSD. I have a lot of different like problems, but again, this isn't just about that. I say all of this because I'm sick a lot. I don't feel good very often. I do my best to live my life. I give 110% to our family business. We have, you know, I always say that we have 10 plus families, immediate families that rely on me to do what I need to do to get them their paychecks and, you know, to keep work moving and that kind of thing. And I'm a big believer in taking care of them first, because I feel like they matter. They have to be put first. Someone has to put them first. And that's just always been how my dad and I are. Not that I don't put myself first, but just I place a really high importance on them and knowing that their families need to pay their house payments and they, you know, their kids have school and stuff like that. Again, I don't say all this to make myself sound like some great person, because who's to say I'm a great person? Some people might think I'm dumb. But you know, that's whatever. I'm just wanting you guys to know about me. So, I put everything that I have into that. And then what's left over is, what I try to give for myself and my family and my friends. And it's not a lot. I'm not going to lie. It's never been what I wanted it to be. I haven't been actually social and active with my friends in probably 4 or 5 years. Because in the last 4 to 5 years, my symptoms have gotten a lot worse. The medications that they've tried me on have gotten a lot worse. And just overall, I've been a lot sicker. But that's neither here nor there. the reason I got into makeup, and I've touched on this before, I've gotten into makeup because I loved to be able to control the perception, how people saw me. I've considered it a blessing that the problems I have are inside. They're not things that you can look at me and see and feel sorry for me, or feel my sickness, if that makes sense. You know how sometimes you look at someone and it just makes you empathetic for their situation. I've never wanted someone to look at me and feel that. If anything, I want to switch it around, and I want to know about their life, and I want to know what's going on with them. So anyways, I say all of that because the other day I had a thing on Facebook. You know, on Facebook it shows up and it says, you know, today on Facebook 3 and, you know, so many years ago or whatever. Well, mine popped up and I actually had 3 pictures. One was 3 years ago, one was 6 years ago, and one was 10 years ago. And without spending, you know, too much time digging into these, the one from 3 years ago, I'll start there first. The one from 3 years ago was I was skinny. I had lost, you know, about 115 pounds from my former, like, almost 300-pound self. But anyways, I had lost a lot of weight. I was thin, which I'd always wanted to be thin. And I was thin. It was, you know, really that was just the extent of it. I had just gotten my hair done and my makeup was on and I just wanted to look glorious. And I was trying to hide from the fact that I was actually really sick that day. My eyes were sunken in. I hadn't slept in like 3 days. I hadn't eaten in even longer. I just didn't feel good. My medication had been changed again and it was a nightmare. And I remember taking that picture and trying to look better than what I felt. The one from 6 years ago had been a picture of me and the kids when I went to the Philippines. And I did a mission trip to the Philippines. And in this picture, it's me and a bunch of these kids, and we're just having fun. And at this point, I was bigger. I was probably pushing 300 pounds, I'd say. Maybe like 280, 290, but I was bigger girl. And it didn't matter in that moment. Those kids didn't care. No one cared. I didn't care. We were having fun and I was being just a blast. And the one from 10 years ago was a picture of my niece and I. She was 5 years old, and I don't even know what we were doing. We were screwing off, and we were just having fun, and we were laughing. And you can see in my eyes how much I love her, and you can see in her eyes how happy she is to be with me. And I say all of this because I looked at the oldest 2 pictures, the one from 10 years ago and the one from 6 years ago. And in these pictures, I wasn't consumed with being a better version of myself. I wasn't consumed with wishing I weighed a certain amount. I wasn't consumed with wishing anything other than being in that moment. I couldn't have loved my niece more and like taken, 100 pictures that would have conveyed that much love. I couldn't have been more present when I was in the Philippines with those kids and in that picture and going through and telling them about my life and hearing about their lives. I loved it. I mean, it was everything. It was everything. That trip changed my life because I wasn't consumed with who I wished I had been. There were even Filipinos that commented on my weight, not because they were trying to be mean, but just because, it's strange to see a larger person like that over there. It means different things when you're over there to be overweight. And it didn't matter. I was the fun, crazy cracker lady, They actually called me Nikki Blonsky from Hairspray. They gave us each a name, Tom Cruise and this and that. And I was Nikki Blonsky because the one guy that was there was really into American theater and, theatrics and all that and plays. And he loved the movie Hairspray. And I took it as such a compliment. I mean, he did it obviously because I was big and zany and I was all these other things. He didn't look at me and go, oh, there's a fat American. I'm going to call her Nikki Blonsky. It was, wow, that girl from Hairspray is bigger. And her whole storyline is about being bigger and funny and beautiful. And I took it as such a compliment. I just thought it was funny and that was what I was called and it was great. And then I looked again, scrolled back to the one of 3 years ago where I was skinny and I looked sick. And all I kept thinking was, if I had spent all the time obsessing about being thinner or being some other version of myself in the first 2 photos, they would have turned out the same way that the 3-year photo did. I wouldn't have looked present. I wouldn't have been able to be what I wanted to be. And it's funny because in that moment, my first reaction was, God, I wish I was the girl from 3 years ago. You know, I wish I had that body back. I wish I had that weight back and those clothes. I wish I could fit into them. And then immediately my brain looked at the other two and went, no, I'd choose the other one. I'd choose to be that girl in those pictures, the girl that wasn't bothered by anything, the girl that was just who she was. I mean, yes, I did. I'm not going to lie. Like, I did have weight issues, and I had weight perception issues, and I toyed with like the anorexic side where I would try to like starve myself and not eat and that kind of thing. I did toy with that. Absolutely. I would never claim that I didn't. But in those moments, I was still able to separate that from present life, and it didn't consume me. And as I'm looking back at these, I was so grateful that I was able to be present in those moments. And I just wanted to kind of say that to you guys, that I encourage, it's not that I like encourage people to be overweight or to, you know, eat 100 ho-hos and, stay fat forever and, fatties for life. I'm not saying that. I guess what I'm saying is, I encourage you to be present. I encourage you to live those moments. Even if you're not the version of yourself you wish you were, do it anyways. Because it is so amazing to go back and look on those photos now and go, oh my God, yeah, I might have been packing like 17 extra rolls in my pants or in my, shirt or wherever they happen to just, squeeze out, rolls are kind of, they kind of just pop out whenever they feel like it. But, I might have had a couple extra, but like the kids didn't love me less because of them. My niece sure as hell didn't love me less because of them. And I didn't have any less fun. Everything was just as amazing. And all I keep thinking is that now with all these medical issues that I have and how limited I am, how it's even more important now that I be that person, how it's more important now that I be the person that's present, that I be the person that I was back then. Because I get so few of those moments now. And I feel like as we get older, all of us, because I mean, we're all going to age, no matter who's looking at this, we're going to age. And as we all age, that time is going to be harder and harder to get. The time where we are not consumed with other things, whether it be work or children or retirement or money or problems, it's going to be far and few between that we're able to really get that amazing moment with people or life or family. And I think that's what I wanted to convey more than anything, was that I encourage you guys to find your moments and to be in your moments. It's not so much always about being distracted by social media. I mean, being distracted with yourself, being distracted by thinking like, oh, well, they're taking pictures. So instead of, laughing and enjoying this joke over here, I'm going to angle myself. So that way when they take the picture, I mean, I look like a Hallmark card or a Tumblr, whatever those little Tumblr things are where they like take your picture and it's like those moments with you or whatever those corny sayings are. What I'm saying is, it isn't always about being distracted by outside things. Sometimes it's about being distracted by what's inside. And again, I'm not just talking about bills and stuff like that. I'm talking about yourself and being who you want to be. Don't allow the fact that you're not where you want to be physically, emotionally, or mentally deteriorate from where you are right now. And how much fun you should be having at that party or with your family. And another thing I wanted to touch on real quick is that just remember all the years that I spent obsessing about or thinking about my weight and wishing that I was smaller. I traded in those moments, I traded my mental and emotional health for my physical health. I thought that I always, masked it by saying, oh, well, I'll be physically healthy if I lose weight. So that justified, by the way, I did that backwards, justified the fact that I was giving up my mental and emotional health. The fact that I was basically telling myself I was worthless. The fact that I numbed myself to believe that I was worthless. And what I'm getting at with all of this yet again is that all three versions of those healths are important to your person. You have to find a way to be physically healthy and mentally healthy and emotionally healthy and not sacrifice one for the other, because I did it for way too long and it's not worth it. And I just wanted to say that, I guess, to you guys and tell you guys a little bit more about me and let you know who I am, because that's what this is all about. So I'm going to probably throw this up on the internet, and probably very minimal, if any, editing. And I'm going to go to bed because I'm exhausted. And as you can tell, I haven't slept. That was part of the reason I wanted to film right now. I haven't slept in like a week, and I haven't been feeling very good these last couple of months. They've tried me on like 18 new medications. That's probably a lie, but it's been a lot of medications. And I just wanted to be real, because I feel like that's the basis of everything. And I've even had friends mention it to me, like, hey Paige, your channel doesn't seem like you. And I want it to seem like all of me. I want it to be authentic. I want you guys to know that when you come here, you're getting a real review. You're getting a real person. You're getting a real everything. My opinions are my own, and they can't be bought. And they sure as hell can't be stifled by the internet. I have a really thick skin, so I guess people can kind of throw whatever stones they want at this, but it's who I am. So I'm going to take off, and you guys have a nice night. Take care. And if you made it through this, I hope you're encouraged to be exactly who you are, exactly when you are, and love it. Have a nice night, everybody. Bye.